Sometimes you even fall right off of the track, but you come to church, you listen to the band, Elizabeth helps you 'cause she can, and you get back up, and I got to say, you got your friends at Awakening Way. Here we go. All right. And we can walk down. You know you wanna walk down. It works when you walk down. Everybody walk down. Your heavenly road. Transformational road.
Your heavenly road.
It's a personal road. Your holy, holy road.
Hey, there goes Kristen. So let's just say your name. We've got Travis, a special guest today. That was awesome, right? Woo! And Jim and Ron and Steve and Jimmy and Jesse and Kim and Mary and Sally and Kristen and Steve in the back. Woo! You guys are awesome. Woo! Wow. Good morning, beloveds. Oh, wow, I see so many new faces today and familiar faces. I'm so thrilled that you're here. Thank you for coming. Without you, this wouldn't be much of a service, right? Without our band, it wouldn't be much of a service. Wow. So I was off last Sunday. I had a college reunion with some buddies, and so DeLon was our speaker. How was DeLon? Yeah, he's amazing, yes. Yes, amazing, of course. And so here we are. This is such a great month. It's all about love, and it's all about love out loud. That's our seed of awakening. And so the topic for today is about love on a spectrum. And so we're going to go on a ride. Buckle up and lean in, okay? So let me begin by sharing a Hafez quote. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Wow. With a love like that, we can move mountains, yes? With a love like that, we can be all that we came here to be. With a love like that, we have the courage to love and be present in our lives greater than ever before, to share our gifts like singing and playing music and being present and being ourselves with each other, in front of each other, in all of our glory and in all of our mishaps and quirkiness. I have quirks. Can you believe that? Ask my husband. We all have those, right? But we can still be all that we came here to be in the midst of it, yes? And so Ernest Holmes wrote that if God is love and love is all there is, our authentic expression must be love in action. And so the Science of Mind textbook says God is love and God is law. And the love of God is omnipresent, and the law of God is omnipresent. So the love of God is the divine givingness, the eternal outpouring the Spirit through its creation. That was a lot of words, I know. But what that's saying is that we are that outpouring of Spirit, my friends. We have been created in the image and likeness of God, and God made no mistakes. And by the way, you can substitute that word for whatever works with you, right? God, divine, Spirit, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, the presence, the thing itself, Yahweh, the force, the universe, yes? Everything is spiritual. Everything is love. Who we are is who we are meant to be. Each one of us was brought to this moment in history in the communities that we were born into and in the places that we frequent, into this community that we are all here in right now for a divine purpose, right? When we embrace who we are, regardless of how the people around us react, we align with our own spiritual truth. So what this is saying for me is that love who you came here to love, my friends. It's all good. You are loved even in the face of whoever you love. There's no judgment, right? I mean, there's so many different aspects of love. There's so many different aspects of human love, but there is only one divine love. And so we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we experience all of that, don't we? Oh, there's so much, and we're going on a journey today. But I first want to go into the Science of Mind glossary. This is the Science of Mind textbook, which is an Ernest Holmes book, a spiritual text that we use here. And the definition of love in this book says that love, with a capital L, is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Now, Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. We are also told in the New Testament that he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. So love is free from condemnation, even as it is free from fear. And lastly, my favorite line here is love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Now imagine that last line. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. This divine love, this love that is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible, loves you exactly as you are. Loves you exactly as you are not. Even in the face of that, right? No matter what. No matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, no matter where you're going, it loves you. And I believe that if we can truly get that and remember that, we can be unstoppable. Because when we remember how loved we are, there is no fear, even when we face things that may be a little difficult on this human plane. Sometimes we have those, right? We can laugh at them, though, can't we? And still be that space of love and be that space of knowing who we are and who we came here to be. And even as we trip and stumble, we come back in tune to this divine love, that cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. Oh, it wants to love you so much. It wants to love me so much. I love that. Thank you, Ernest Holmes. And so, Ernest Holmes also observed that if one sees only unloveliness in others, it is because unloveliness is a strong element in themselves. The light we throw on others is generated in our own soul, and we see them as we choose to see them. So this love is always with us. It's up to us to choose it, even in the face of dislikes, disagreements, misunderstandings, things that aren't our preference, for example, right? Things that we don't think are totally ideal. If we can be in that space of love, we are like the Weeble Wobbles. Remember that? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. It's like it can sway you back and forth, but you're not going to tumble over because you know the truth of who you are. You know the truth of the situation that you're in. You know the truth of the person that is standing before you. This is how we get to that place of peace, and we can truly create a world that works for all because we are being peaceful. We get the real meaning of namaste. The light in me sees and honors and bows to the light in you. The love in me sees the love in you and honors and bows to it with reverence. Love, love, love. The giggles, that's what happens when you're in the resonance of love, when you're vibrating at that frequency of love, you giggle. Yeah, because it feels good. So that quote suggests that when someone consistently perceives negative qualities or unloveliness in others, it is probably because they possess those same qualities within themselves. Yes, I said it. The way we view others is often a reflection of our own inner thoughts and feelings. And we don't know what's happening when it's happening. We just don't like that. But it's because it's also a quality within us. And so what would it be like if we were to release that judgment or release that negativity? And if we release that judgment and negativity that we have for ourselves, then we're not going to be projecting it out onto others. And that shifts our whole mindset. That shifts our whole perception, right? We recognize that, oh, what I'm seeing in you is actually an aspect of me because you are me, and there's only one thing happening here and now, so I'm just going to love you. I'm just going to love you right there with your stinky shoes or whatever, right? I'm just going to love because that's what I came here to do. That's what I came here to be. I came here to be a presence of love, and I can be that. And there are so many aspects of love, aren't there? You know, what we're going to be called to do this week is to find something lovable in everything. In everything. That means in the traffic jam you find yourself in, or in the grocery store when you're in line at the 12 items or less and someone's got a big cart full. Find something lovable. Find something lovable when you get to the bank and you think you're going to just go in and out and there's 40 people in line in front of you. That's actually happened to me. I'm like, okay, God, this is funny. You know what I mean, though? You're going to be finding something lovable in everyone, even in those that are already so lovable. You know, like you see your friends and your loved ones, and it's like, oh, you know, I love your blouse. You're just so lovable, you know. We are all lovable. And so we're going to find something lovable in everything and everyone when we're watching the news. Oh, that's a practice, isn't it? Yes. When we're watching the news, you can't just turn off the news forever, you guys. You're going to, you know, eventually you have to actually watch it, but find something lovable, right? Find something to pray about. That's going to be our call to action. And the invitation is for us to pay attention to what happens within us as we actively seek out what's lovable. As we contemplate the lovable qualities and characteristics of others, we vibrate at a higher frequency. Our mind gets freed up from the shackles of judgment and condemnation, and this active seeking of what's lovable tends to result in your finding more of what you love everywhere, and who doesn't want that? And that includes right within you. It's all around you, and then you will see and feel and experience this love everywhere. Now, I invite you to close your eyes with me right now, and see if you can feel the presence of love right here and right now. What does it feel like? Oh. Is it within you? Is it beside you? On the left side, on the right side? Is it above you? Is it below you? Behind you and before you? Now I invite you to open your eyes and look at the person next to you and look at the others around you. Do you see that love? You feel that love? Yeah, right? So I remember the first time I went on a silent retreat. And by the way, feeling and experiencing that love and looking for what's lovable feels good and also positively affects our bodies, right? It has a positive effect on our bodies. It has a positive effect on our brains, which is like, wow. Right? Coming from a place of love, seeking what's lovable allows us to actually be better humans. So at a silent retreat, I wanted to go on this silent retreat so bad, and it was going to be 5 nights, and I had never been in silence for more than like 40 minutes, right? And so 5 nights of total silence. I had a little bit of fear, but I was attending a center for spiritual living, and I was being told that I was loved, that there was a God that loved and adored me no matter what, that I was in the presence of love always. And I kept coming back because I could hear it, but I didn't understand. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around that presence of love. I wasn't supposed to, though. What I was supposed to wrap my mind around was that I was loved. And what does that love mean to me? Safety, security, confidence. I'm okay, right? I'm okay no matter what. In fact, later I learned I am more than okay. But it was the time when I needed to feel okay. Regardless of what's happening in my life, I'm okay. And I am loved. And it was that love that had me have the courage to go into this silent retreat. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had to sign a waiver that said if I had some kind of psychological breakdown, I wouldn't hold them liable. I'm like... I was like, what's going to happen to me, if I wasn't scared before? But I came back to love. I'm loved. Nothing can happen because I know that I am loved by something bigger, right? Unconditional love, powerful. And so for some reason, this made its way into the talk today, which is that human beings, we don't listen, we never have, and we never will. Wow, I wasn't expecting the laughter. You resonate with that, do you? We never have and we never will. I was expecting you to go, what is that supposed to mean? Because the second part is we are meaning-making machines. We don't listen, we never have, we never will, and we're meaning-making machines. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why are you looking at me that way? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? The sun is out. What does it mean? I left my thing at home. What does that mean? What's it all about? What does it mean? We're meaning-making machines. So we can sometimes get so stuck in our heads about what we like, what we don't like, what our preferences are, the way it should be, the way it shouldn't be, that we can't hear the truth. We can't actually see and experience the truth that is happening in our lives right now, and that's love. So the question for you is, are you experiencing life, love, or are you experiencing your thoughts about it? Two very different things. And then, what would it be like to step out of your mind and into the game of life, into the presence of love, into the understanding that something magnificent is happening right here and right now, into that understanding of I'm in a place where Spirit is good, and this community that I'm in is thriving, and we are thriving, and I am feeling alive and safe and courageous with the divine purpose for my life right here, right now, and I can take the next step. I'm living in life, not just my thoughts about it. Powerful, yes? What would it be like to step out of your mind and into the game of life, into the space of love where everything is happening now? Have you noticed everything is always happening right here in the now? But if we're so in our heads about it, we don't get to experience that. We don't get to experience the love that is present here and now. So I invite you to join me in that space of love. You know, Rumi says, out beyond the idea of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, and I will meet you there. That's what I'm talking about, the field of love. Go into that field. It's not scary. You can do it. It's far more interesting and wonderful and exciting than anyone's thoughts about it. The same is true for God, spirit, divine, whatever you call it, you know. It's so much more than I can say about it. You have to experience it for yourself. Can you? Will you? Well, you can start today by finding something lovable in everything. Look for it, my friends. Actively seek it. What do you love? Actively seek that, you know. I also read this week that life is not just something to be endured. Life is to be lived in joy, in a fullness without limit. And love is within us. It cannot be destroyed. This love can be ignored, and to the extent that we abandon love, we will feel it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is the only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. We can let go of what even happened this morning, you know, and begin again. Love actually heals, forgives, and makes us whole. So I'm asking you again, do you feel the love this morning? Yes. Yeah, right? And wow, how cool is it that we are going to take this love when we leave here out into the world and multiply it, even to the fly. I love you, fly. There was a fly, okay. Yeah. So, love, right? Now, we also have the human emotion of love, you know? Right? Our emotions rise and fall like waves in a sea, don't they? Oh, here they come, right? Big, big, big love, and then not so big love, right? They rise and fall. So what if we were to let those emotions as they rise and fall be used as fuel in devotion to the divine, in devotion to spirit? Use that as an opportunity to reach within and let that love come up and be the thing that is experienced. Wow. There's something called bhakti, and bhakti is Sanskrit for devotion, and it's all about one's relationship with the divine, one's relationship with your soul, your relationship with the infinite universe. So when we are in love with somebody, there's love that is not a monochromatic feeling, right? There's that love that has so many different shades, doesn't it? It's that spectrum of love. So for those of us that have ever been in love, we know there are so many colors, you know? Just like all the different hues in the Crayola box, it's like, how many colors can they come up with? That little tiny bit of blue in there. There's so many shades of love just like that. Like we have passion and we have fear. Isn't there a lot of fear in the human emotion of love? There's that fear that has us be jealous, and there's desire, and there's lust, and there's longing. There's that feeling of ecstasy, and there's that absolute bliss in that moment when the individual self dissolves into the great oneness of I am. There are all those, right? Those are all sides of love that we experience, yes? But these call us. The call for us is to embrace this full spectrum of love and not condemn any part of it, you know, not condemn the aspects of it that we're not comfortable with, and not to make any aspect of it good or bad or right or wrong. Can we refrain from condemning ourselves or others for the way that they love or for who they love? Yes, the answer is yes, right? Yes. Yes. Thank you. So friends, if one only sees unloveliness in others, it is because unloveliness is a strong element in ourselves. That means that we see something that we don't like out here. What can we come back to in ourselves? And how can we love? How can we bring love to that aspect of ourselves? within ourselves. Yes? Ernest Holmes also observed that there is but one ultimate impulsion in the universe. This impulsion is love. This love is more than an emotional sentiment, although it must include all such emotional sentiments. It is the pure essence of divine givingness. Love is the outpouring of spirit, right? And so while love, divine love, is the whole aspect of human emotions of love, right? It's all of that and more. So in this mystery, we're able to create this temple inside of our hearts, a temple of a place. It's like a place of refuge. It's a place of love. It's a place of being, a place of sanctity. It's whatever we need whenever we need it, and we can come to it. And if we can't access it, because sometimes this human experience causes us to not be able to access it, when we're having difficult times, or when we're stressed, or we're feeling less than 100%, we can lean on our friends and lean on our community. These people who you're sitting here with, these people who you're swimming in this ocean of devotion, this ocean of love with this morning, we can lean on each other, practitioners and ministers that will help us remember how loved we are and how much love there is to go around. And it is good. It is so good. So I was particularly moved this week by someone named Dr. David Hawkins. Have you heard of him? So Dr. David Hawkins was a nationally renowned psychiatrist, physician, researcher, spiritual teacher, and lecturer. And one of his great contributions to the world was a map of consciousness. And here is a copy of this. It's just like having a copy of Robert's Rules of Order, right? Or the Cliff Notes version. This is the map of consciousness, and this is so powerful. And so it's a very sophisticated map, too. And what he did was he determined the different emotions and the way that they are vibrating at a certain frequency within us, and how we can move up, in the vibrational frequency to experience higher levels of consciousness, such as acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment, right? And so, for instance, you have despising, misery, and shame is vibrating at a frequency of 20. Whereas love is vibrating at a frequency of 500. And so when we start to feel in these lower vibrational frequencies, when we feel things like anxiety, regret, despair, blame, craving, humiliation, we're actually vibrating at a lower frequency, and then we just feel bad, right? Has anyone ever experienced any of those? And then you feel bad about yourself, and you just feel like you've been yucked, you've been slimed or something, right? And it's like, what is that? But it's because we're now vibrating at this lower frequency. And this happens to me too. We're empaths. And so if someone in our orbit is vibrating at a lower frequency, we feel it. And then it's like, we got the yucks too, right? And so what can we do? What can we do? Who can we be in those times, right? We can be that vibration of love and continue to be on that level and reach out that hand and pull up our friends, Reach in the hand for ourselves and pull ourselves up. Sometimes it's kicking and screaming because we don't want to let go of this blame or shame or humiliation or despising or disappointment, right? But what if we did? I mean, that's a feeling and that's valid. And we can also continue to vibrate at this frequency of love, which is what I believe we really want. None of us want to be vibrating at a lower level frequency. That's why we're here. We want to experience love. We want to experience joy. We have a desire to be accepting. We have a desire to live out our purpose. We have a desire to be forgiving and to be loving and to experience the wisdom of the universe, don't we? It's not just me, right? We have that desire. That's why we're here. And it's like, wow, we can do this. And so David Hawkins said, on the level of love, we are heartfelt, generous, nurturing, affectionate, steadfast, and forgiving. He said that love is protective, collaborative, uplifting, holistic, and gracious. Are you resonating with that? It is characterized by warmth, gratitude, appreciation, humility, completion, vision, purity of motive, and sweetness. Love, he says, is a way of being. It is the energy that radiates when the blocks to it have been surrendered. Rumi also said, it is ours to not seek for love, but to seek and remove all the barriers we have built up against it. Love is the energy that radiates when the blocks to it have been surrendered. It is more than an emotion or a thought. It is a state of being. Love is what we have become through the pathway of surrender. Can you resonate with that? Right? Surrender, surrender, surrender. It is a way of a being in the world that says, how can I be of help to you? How can I comfort you? How can I loan you money when you're broke? How can I help you find a job? How can I console you when you've suffered a major loss in your family? Lovingness is a way through which we light up the world. Everyone has the opportunity to contribute to the beauty and harmony of the world by showing kindness to all living things and thereby supporting the human spirit. That which we freely give to life flows back to us because we are equally part of that life. Like ripples on water, imagine, right? The ripples go out. Every gift returns to the giver. What we affirm in others, we are actually affirming in ourselves. And once we become willing to give love, the discovery quickly follows that we are surrounded by love and we merely didn't know how to access it. Wow. Right? Love is actually present everywhere. Its presence only needs to be realized. Love expresses itself in many ways. Now, imagine with me the little boy that memorizes a ditty that was taught to him by his father, and he is still able to say it 80 years later. The Navy sailor that steers the ship through a terrible typhoon for 3 days nonstop without food and drink when all of his shipmates are seasick. The doctor loves and prays for every patient they see without them knowing about it. The mother who cleans up the messy pants of a young child with diarrhea saying, honey, it's not your fault. You couldn't help it. The spouse that gets up early to make coffee every morning just the way their spouse likes it. The doggy that waits by the door for their owner to return and wags their tail when you come through the door. The cat that purrs in your presence. The songbird that sings, it's what it does. And when you hear it, it's like spirit saying, I love you. Chirp, chirp, chirp. So typically people think of love as romantic, like honey and sweetheart, but romantic love is only a minor part of our human existence. There are so many other types of love than the personal romantic love that infuse our everyday experience. Love of pets, love of family and friends, love of freedom, love of purpose, love of country, love of attributes, love of creation, love as virtue, love as enthusiasm, love as forgiveness, love as acceptance, love as motivator, love as appreciation, love as kindness. Love as essence of relationship. Love as group energy, like what's happening in here right now, or in Alcoholics Anonymous, or other 12-step programs. Love as admiration. Love as respect. Love as valor. Love as fraternal bonds of unity. buddies, classmates, shipmates, teammates. You get the idea. Love is friendship. Love is loyalty. Love is affection. Love is cherishing, self-sacrificing, maternal love, and love is devotion, and so many more, right? So love is a many-splendored thing, as the popular song goes, doesn't it? And experientially, this statement is true. But what we are called to do is surrender all of our resistances to love and let go of the negative feelings that block love. And then the world is radiant with that splendor of love. So on this level of love, on the map of consciousness, according to David Hawkins, I know you're all going to want a copy of this, right? On this level of love, 500, that radiance is no longer hidden from us. We've accessed it, and we know how to access it, and we continue to access it, and we experience it everywhere. Everywhere. So recognizing, my friends, that love expresses in all forms and that our personal understanding of love is unique to us, this broadens our understanding and expression of love itself. The human emotion of love exists on a spectrum. So our own understanding of love falls on different places in that spectrum. And our relationship, each one of us, with the God of our understanding is also unique to us. It's also unique to us. So the God of your understanding is unique and personal to you. No relationship is exactly like the other. All of our relationships have contributed to becoming who we are. While no relationship is like any other, love is a universal truth that doesn't change. And we can all experience it, and we're experiencing it today. Can you feel it? I mean, I'm really present to love, and it almost makes me weepy, right? And I think it does that because any armor or shields that you or I have put up against it, when we feel it, those are gone, right? And so in releasing that armor, we get to experience pure loving essence, and it is good. So your call to action for this week is to find something lovable in everything. Pay attention to what happens to you as you actively seek out what's lovable rather than what's unlovable. What happens within you as you actively seek the lovable in everything? Thich Nhat Hanh said, true love is made of 4 elements: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. And Ernest Holmes observed, the essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything. It fires the heart, stimulates the emotion, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and only love knows only love. Words cannot express its depth or meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to the divine fact. God is love, and love is God. So questions to ask yourself and journal about today are: 1, love is expressing everywhere. Are you seeing it? Are you experiencing it? Number 2, what is the relationship you have with the God of your understanding? And number 3, can you find something lovable in every situation, feeling, person, place, or thing? Even that. Yeah, even that. And so I'm going to now invite Travis to come up as we prepare to close. And while he is getting prepared, the invitation for you is to do whatever you need to do to get comfortable in your body. Maybe you need to scratch your nose, stretch your arms, pop your ankle, and get into what I call prayer pose. And that is relaxing to such a degree that you can let go of your body for a moment and be in this presence and space of love. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and if not, you can rest your gaze gently a few feet in front of you. And relax. Relax into love. And in this space this morning, we have activated the presence of love. Love is synonymous with God. Love is synonymous with the divine, and we activate that right now too. It's the same thing. And so as I turn my attention inward, I feel and see and sense the presence of love. I know that love is here right now. Love is expressing itself as each one of us. Is it expressing itself as Travis? And it's expressing itself in the way that Travis is a divine instrument playing the guitar, which is also an instrument. And the result is this sweet sound of love coming out. It's this frequency of beauty that we are hearing, and there's a vibration that is moving through us as well. And it's all love. It's all love. This whole thing, when you walked in the doors this morning, you didn't know you were going to experience so much love, but each one of us did. And we will continue to experience that love as we go forward from here. I'm so grateful for the love that is here today. I'm so grateful that Spirit has birthed itself into existence as me, as each individual here and everywhere for such a time as this. And this is a time for us to be in the presence of love and to get out of our minds and into the game of life and into the game of love. Love is happening here and now. Love is washing over me. Every single cell in my body is lit up with divine love. I feel it, I sense it, I experience it, I know it. And I know that each individual here is experiencing that same love. And as we go forward from here out into the world and out into our week, we experience love like we never have before. That as we begin to seek what's lovable in everything, we find it. And we find these gifts of love. And we uncover aspects of ourselves that are actually so loving that maybe we hadn't even seen them before, which opens us up to even greater love. Oh, Spirit, I'm so grateful for this love. I remember, and I know that each one of us remembers as we go forward from here, that Spirit is the lover of my soul and keeper of my spirit. And so feeling that love, I know that there are no additional words that can be said to describe it. It's just a feeling now. And it is an amazing experience knowing this love is within me and each one of us. We've stepped into it today. We've stepped into this love, and it is a mighty force, and it goes out into the world wherever we find ourselves, and people catch that vibration of love. What a gift. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for this love. And I'm so grateful to know that we each experience love to a greater degree than ever before. I release this prayer now knowing it is so. And I invite you to help me anchor this truth by saying with me, And so it is. Yeah. Love. Ah, right. Now